Hi, I'm Jeff Schroeder,
I'm Jack Bates.
and we're from the Smashing Pumpkins, and we're at the Music Zoo in Long Island, New York, which is the premier showroom of Yamaha guitars and basses in the United States.
And we hope to see you out on the tour. Thanks for watching. My dad's relationship with Yamaha goes back probably 38 years now, maybe closer to 40. It's the stuff that he used to write all the Joy Division and New Order stuff. So when I started learning, that was the only thing that I was gonna want to use because it looked like it was working for him. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as we say in England. And my first bass was a Yamaha RBX. And then from there, just ended up with these ones via all of his. But now I got my own, which is cool.
I started using Yamaha guitars, I don't know, about at least maybe 7 or 8 years ago now. One of the artist reps sent me an email and said, hey, we got some acoustics we'd like to send you and try. And I really wasn't too familiar with Yamaha instruments, and I'd been using other acoustic guitars and wasn't totally happy, and he sent me a few, and instantly I really liked them. The sound was good, the playability was good, and started using them live pretty soon after that, and the response was great. And after that, then it became just, hey, we got some electrics, and I started using a few of the electrics, and then now it's turned into a thing where I think just about 85–90% of the guitars I'm using live on this tour are all Yamahas, and mostly just because I started getting drawn to the consistency and quality of the instruments. Every one I got would be like the craftsmanship and whatnot would really surprise me. Not surprise me, but I play a lot of different guitars, and guitars can tend to be inconsistent. So the consistency between each guitar was really, really good. And when you're playing live, that's something that's really important. That when if you get a new guitar shipped out to you to go do a show, that it's going to play and sound like the last one. And like I said, that's really what won me over time is the quality of the craftsmanship and the thought behind the designs too. I mean, I think the designers back in Japan are really put a lot of thought into each instrument and each design.
Yeah, and in terms of the bass, I mean, I've got 8 of these on the road because we're using all kinds of different tunings. And I mean, I can use this exact same bass for playing with the Pumpkins and playing with my dad's band. And both those bands require completely different bass sounds. And the good thing is with active and passive, which made a weird noise there. The good thing is with the active and passive, you can really get totally different tones out of the same bass without even needing to use that many pedals. Yeah. So it's totally cool. And I mean, the good thing I've always liked with Yamahas as well is they stay in tune really well. So you haven't got to keep messing around with them. It's like, tune it once, it's good to go for a show pretty much. That's one thing my dad's always liked about the old Yamahas too.
Yeah, the joke is that we have when Jack plays with us in the Pumpkins, he only uses the bottom 2 strings, and then with his dad, he only uses the top 2 strings.
Yeah, all the Pumpkins riffs are kind of all low, and then all my dad's stuff is down here.
And all the is like the really heavy, like really subby bass kind of stuff.
Yeah.
On this tour, where it's the first time where the whole band is on in-ears, and so you get to hear the instruments in a different way. And the bass in particular, which, I'm not even a bass player, but as a guitar player, you realize that, especially when you hear music that way, the integration of guitar and bass and where they meet sonically is so important. And what's really remarkable about these basses, and we've actually started using these, like this particular model we actually used on the whole new Pumpkins recording is all this bass, this model, is the consistency of the notes up and down the fretboard. Like no notes drop out, like they're all the same volume. And man, you know, when you're playing night to night, that's something that you really want, that consistency. You don't, you know, some types of basses, they tend to, like, one note will be a lot louder than the others, other notes will disappear. I mean, these are extremely consistent. So even as a guitar player, I really like playing against this bass because it helps me actually define, like, my own sound, because I'm getting something very consistent from the low end.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot from the drummer's perspective too, that the bass is really consistent. Jimmy seems pretty happy with what we got going on in the rhythm section. I think a lot of it's just to do with how good the bass is.
On this tour, I'm using, let me see, 4 or 5 different models of Yamahas. 3 acoustics, which are great, a 12-string, a 6-string, and then a FG180 reissue, which is wonderful, sounds amazing. I'm using some Rev Stars, SA2200, and actually 3 different Rev Stars. So actually this is actually my own guitar that I stole from my tech. And I have a RSP20 that I use for some melancholy era songs. So they're tuned to E flat. With those songs, they tend to be like more heavy on the distorted side. And then I have actually a custom made Yamaha custom shop Rev Star that I'm using on the new song Solara. And then the last guitar, I actually have a SA2200 that I use on, I'm using on, I think 3 songs too, and those are like more ballads, the slow ones. But because it has a really beautiful open sound, and you can be very expressive on the instrument and really hear the quality of the construction of the guitar, the tonalities it really projects are very, very exquisite. And so I like to use it on songs where you can really hear the tone of the instrument.